Good morning. My name is Edward Sonshin Oberholzer. I'm the resident priest and guiding teacher here at the Joseph Priestley Zen Sangha in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. We're part of Empty Moon Zen. I've lived half of my life in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and one of the things that I admired about those hard-nosed, stern, and humorless Puritan ancestors of mine there in the Bay Colony was their willingness to stick to their principles, even when it led them to grim and joyless winters, unleavened by Christmas celebrations, untouched by Christmas cheer. No decking the halls with bells of holly for them. Angels they might have heard on high, but only to tell them to suck it up and be righteous. They had, in fact, outlawed the celebration of Christmas as a theologically inappropriate holiday. And they were, of course, correct. Grim, unhappy, stiff-necked, but correct. Our modern Christmas was an attempt by the Church Fathers, long before the Puritans, to steal the thunder from the pagan celebrations around the solstice, and especially that most amusing of pagan celebrations, the Saturnalia. By claiming that date in late December as the birthday of Jesus, a date none of us could be certain of, or really could ever know. We Puritans would have none of those impure pagan revels in Boston, at least not until the Unitarians brought us Christmas trees. But of course, today is April 9th. And so why am I nattering on about Christmas? Well, yesterday just happened to be, in some circles, the reputed birthday of Siddhartha Gautama, the man we all know as the Buddha. A holiday within the Mahayana tradition, it is, just as with Christmas, based upon an entirely speculative date, and equally ungrounded in the, if you'll forgive the term, in the theology of Buddhism. How one speculates on the theology of a non-theistic religion might be grist for another talk. Still, just as a holiday par excellence of the Christians is and should be Easter, so for those of us in Zen Buddhism, it is December the 8th, Rohatsu, commemorating Siddhartha's enlightenment, the event that made him the Buddha, the enlightened one, that sums up all that we sit for. And despite Hakuin writing of singing and dancing as the voice of the law, we'll have no revelries on the final night of Rohatsu, thank you. I like to think that my Puritan forebears would be at home in Zen austerities. Just to confuse matters, and to acknowledge the fecundity of Buddhist practices, Vesak, correctly Wesak, pay no attention to my attempts to pronounce it. Coming up on May 16th this year is a celebration that commemorates the Buddha's birth, enlightenment, and death, and his passing into nirvana. It is named for the month of May and is celebrated on the full moon, when the Buddha's mother is said to have given birth to him in a garden in the Himalayan foothills while on her way to her parents' home. According to most Buddhist calendars, he would be 2,548 years old this coming month. Vesak is the most important holiday in the Theravadan Buddhist countries of Southeast Asia, though its observance varies from culture to culture. In the United States, it has become the occasion for a common celebration that unites different Buddhist traditions and schools, Asian and non-Asian, immigrant and convert, Theravadan and Mahayana. For different schools of Zen, which is a tradition of the Mahayana school of Buddhism, the Buddha's birthday is, of course, celebrated according to a different calendar and falls yesterday. His enlightenment on December 8th and death on May 15th. On February 15th. Diane Benage used to reserve the community room at her retirement community for a birthday party for the Buddha in May, complete with cake and balloons. As my grandfather, an Episcopal priest and not a Puritan, used to say, what a difference there are in people. But strictly speaking, isn't every day the Buddha's birthday? The day of his enlightenment, the day of his passing into nirvana? Today, a day that holds the promise of every sunrise, the satisfaction of every sunset, the gentle rains of every spring, the snows sweeping across the driveway out front of every winter. Right now, the birds are singing as they return in today's spring, and singing as they gather seeds in preparation for the flight south in today's fall. The people walking down the street, hunched over, trying to keep warm and not fall on the ice-covered roads, sharing that roadway today with runners, sweating under the noonday sun of summer, all in this one today, each day, whole and complete, each day, the Buddha's birthday, the Buddha's enlightenment, the Buddha's parinirvana, each day, every day, empty, boundless, timeless, and eternal. All history culminates today. All future history is engendered here, all wrapped within this 24-hour span, this one 60-minute hour, this one eternal now. Today, you and I begin our practice. A practice ancient and ancestral, a practice that finds itself in our bones, in our thoughts, in the structure of our bodies, and that is, at the same time, new and fresh, begun and continued, a practice that is unexplored and fresh and as old as the hills and as surprising as the daffodils popping up under the detritus of winter. Here it is, your original face before you were born. And so, and at the same time, and in the same instant, each day is particular, each unique. Today we sit here in meditation. Today, the 9th of April, 2022, never to come again, yet always here, past, present, and future, just this moment. And just as this day contains all days, it stands out in its own uniqueness as the day after the birth of Siddhartha Gautama. It stands out in its particularity as the day that the King of England put his signature to the treaty that ended the American Revolution, the day the Roman Emperor Caracalla was assassinated, the day Robert E. Lee surrendered the Army of North Virginia, all 26,765 troops, each particular, each unique, to Ulysses S. Grant at Appomattox Courthouse in Virginia, in that one specific spot on the face of the earth, and so effectively ending the Civil War. It is the day the Lutheran theologian and anti-fascist Dietrich Bonhoeffer, that one unique and special human being, the day he was executed by the Nazis just 2 weeks before the prison where he was held was liberated by Allied troops. This one day, like every day, has always been. This one day, like every day, will never, never come again. It's a time to celebrate, a time to mourn, a time to commemorate, a time to just sit. Now is your chance. So, let me respectfully remind you, Life and death are of supreme importance. Time swiftly passes by and opportunity is lost. Each of us should strive to awaken. Awaken. Take heed. Do not squander your life. Thank you.